Hello, everybody. I am Paula Abdul, and I am going to be doing a documentary of World War One, and also the study of the Native American Indians in World War One, and also talking about some amazing events that happened in World War One and the documentary. But I'm standing right out here in front of the Natural History Museum where it's gonna all go down. I'm gonna be doing my own personal documentary of it and all of that. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna get started. So let's go. On our way, going to the Natural History Museum to start our journey. Thank you. Hello, everybody. I am Paula Abdul, and I am doing my news report and popular report on the World War One, the forgotten pandemic, and American Indians' contribution to the war. A look back on the history of the 1900s and 1920s. New broadcast speech for this video for the midterm project for History 12 for Professor Heiser, October 13, 2023, October 14, 2023. And I start off reading the history and what I wrote. The history of World War One, most people would like to think of it as in the last as well as World War II. But with all the wars that have happened in the past since then, in the Israeli war that just began last weekend with the Hamas, ISIS bombing Israel, the United States of America, prejudice sending assistance to Israel once again. Could this be the beginning of World War III? When World War I began, people were marching in parades with soldiers on their way to war as though it was an amazing holiday or celebration. We also know that President Woodrow Wilson was in office when the war began in Austria, where one of their archdukes was assassinated. America stayed in isolation, not getting involved in the war that soon involved not just Austria, but France, Germany, Great Britain, England, and most of the prominent European countries. Notice, none of Africa or Australia, North America, Central America, or South America, or Canada got involved with the war for a few years at first in the early 1920s. Eventually, the United States government declared war on Germany, and the New World got involved. Not only white and African American soldiers went to war to fight for their freedom and rights to citizenship in the United States, etc., the native Aboriginal settlers of the United States of America, the American Indians, also decided to join forces with the United States troops to go to war on Germany in World War I. Also, the main American Indian tribe that chose to go was the Oneida and the Onondaga American Indian tribes went to war. They either drafted or volunteered to go to war with the American troops, simply because the Society of the American Indians thought that going to war with the American troops to Germany and defending the United States and the rest of the world would be great for American Indians that were on reservations to earn citizenship by going to war as an opportunity for their freedom and equality in America. Many other tribes of American Indians felt that this was a threat to their sovereignty in the United States because they were the first to cross over in the Ice Age over 12,000 years ago to the North American continent, Canada, and the Americas, period. They called it Turtle Island before it was renamed America. These American Indian tribes were the Hopi, Navajo, Hudeno, Sani, Pueblo, Lakua, and the Ojibwa peoples. They opposed sending any of their tribes to the war because they felt they were already citizens to this country and on this continent. Having been the original tribes that were here for many thousands of years, over 12,000 American Indians served in World War I, though because poverty, poor health were among their tribes on those reservations. A famous quote written by the Red progressive author C. Parker said, "Our American Indians are today in France fighting that liberty, fraternity, and equality of opportunity may prevail throughout the world." Last but not least, we covered the disaster before World War I began. The forgotten Spanish flu pandemic, which killed over 20 to 30 million people in just a couple of years. During this pandemic, just a year before World War I, called the Spanish flu pandemic of 1918, through 1919, beginning the spring of 1918. This pandemic happened actually 102 years before the last recent global pandemic, COVID-19, started in the spring of 2020 and came to a close around the fall of 2020, just 2 years later. The Spanish flu global pandemic virus spread real fast, especially with the servicemen and military men crossing the seas and the oceans. Actually, here in the state of California in 1918 through 1919, many businesses closed down, schools, churches, public amusement parks, and everyone had to wear face masks, just like what happened in the most recent global pandemic, COVID-19. How does this tie into the problems of recent wars and events of today? Because there is nothing new under the sun. History has a tendency to repeat itself as we watch the Hamas, ISIS, terrorize, kidnap, murder, and wage war and battle in Israel this October 2023 by kidnapping women and children, destroying lives around them, and buying the Israelites and bullying the Israelites, the Jews, and the Holy Land of Jerusalem. Another war rages on and begins again, just like World War I. World War II, Vietnam War, Desert Storm, War in Iraq. Now the war begins again. Not with Austria this time, but with Israel. When will the wars finally end and peace prevail here on earth? I'm investigative reporter Paula Abdul Sr. Paula Abdul reported live from Los Angeles, California, the Natural History Museum in South Central Los Angeles, where we take a look at some ancient artifacts to remember the times when America was great. Peace to you all, and good night. It's Paula Abdul, reporter, investigative reporter, finishing my investigation on World War I, World War II, and all the artifacts and pictures and photos that I was taking. It's called the Natural History Museum, and also my camera. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for watching here on my channel, Paula Abdul Sr., Paula Abdul News, breaking news, October 14, 2023. I'm reporter Paula Abdul. Thank you.